Welcome to the Nerd Party.
Hey everybody, I'm Charlene Schmidt.
I'm Patrick Schmidt.
We just finished watching A Voice in the Wilderness Part 2, and it's time to babble for 5. As I recall, you were really excited after watching Part 1. Did Part 2 follow through?
No, not really. I mean, not that it wasn't interesting, but did it deliver on what Part 1 had set up? Not really.
No? Where did it fall through for you?
Part of it was it turned into space war and who's going to shoot first and who's going to shoot straightest. And then the other part that was frustrating was how it ended. It was, let's navigate through the pew 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 and save the system and drop the bomb, get out in time.
Okay, let's talk about Drawl first.
Okay.
And this storyline, why did it not really work for you?
You know, I think it was a little weird that just anyone could all of a sudden put on the helmet and become the heart of the planet. And why him? Why then? Just because he's willing to sacrifice? There's got to be a deeper reason than that. It's too simplistic for Babylon 5. There's got to be more to it. And there just wasn't the payoff that I was hoping for, I guess.
Okay. And maybe there are a lot more layers to this. Maybe this is the setup for something greater. I'm not telling you if it is or not. Just opening up your mind to that possibility.
Yeah. Oh, it was open to that possibility already.
Now, the whole thing about maybe just anybody being able to go into this massive machine, hook themselves up, and run the thing, I don't know. This thing seems pretty complex, and I don't know if just anybody could run it, but Delenn says something really interesting at the end. If Sinclair had gone down, he would have said, "Hook me up, I'm ready." And she's right. This dude, he is looking for a reason to die. I am convinced that Sinclair has a death wish. And as for Drawl, well, he seemed willing and able to do the job, and he had some kind of connection going on with this other alien guy.
They kind of got into it a little bit in the episode, but only 3 people saw this vision or heard this voice or whatever you want to say.
Yes.
And so it had to be one of those 3 to go into the machine. It's not working for me now, but give it a couple seasons and all of a sudden it might make sense.
Right. Who knows? Little pieces of the puzzle. But this is a really big piece, and we have no idea where it goes right now.
Literally, the planet is always in the background of Babylon 5.
Right? So there's got to be something to that.
Literally.
Let's jump to Garibaldi. He is turning over tables and bashing people's heads in at the bar. We kind of figure out why. It's about a girl.
Isn't it always about a girl?
Of course it is.
Isn't it always?
Always.
There's a time and a place wherein you're supposed to meet your soulmate, you know? And
that's what happened to us.
Yeah, and we got lucky. And lots of times you meet your soulmate and the timing just doesn't work. Or you meet someone who you think is your soulmate where the timing is great and they're not your soulmate.
Right.
So it's a little bit of both to make that work, and it doesn't happen for everyone. And somewhere down in his heart, he's got to make peace with that.
I guess the big hope is this does not lead to a relapse with his drinking. He's got a pretty broken heart right now. I think he'll be okay, though.
If you're on Babylon 5, you're going to see some shit. And if a woman who you haven't seen in years can send you over the edge, you can get nudged that simply. That's the person you don't want as your security chief.
Yeah, that's true. And therefore we know Michael will be okay because he has seen some shit and he's lived to tell the tale and he's marching onward. Something I really like in this episode is the dynamic between Michael Garibaldi and Jeffrey Sinclair. These two are like this right now. There's definitely a deep friendship going on here. And Sinclair, it's a small thing. When he tells Garibaldi that he wants Ivanova to be on the last ship out, doing it without her knowledge, that says a lot too.
You just see bits and pieces of it, and every time you see another bit or piece to it, it just adds to the depth. And
yeah, it's just that's just it. It's going deeper now.
Yeah.
Deeper and deeper. The more we see of it, the better it is.
And then you realize, oh, it's always been this deep. You're just understanding it better.
Right. But it's a fun process. It's kind of cool to discover that. One short side note about Ivanova. Her favorite word. Boom.
Yeah. Boom.
Boom, 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 boom.
Boom.
What else have you got to say about this episode?
It still drives me batshit crazy that they can't figure out who's coming through the jump gate before they just show up. Really? They haven't figured it out by now? Son of
I think that does it for A Voice in the Wilderness Parts 1 and 2. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video.
Or give it 2 if you can.
You can't.
Damn it.
Unfortunately. It doesn't work that way with 2
Smash that
players.
like button as many times as you can.
Yes, and hit the bell after you subscribe, and that way you get notifications every Sunday and every Wednesday when we have a new video come out. And of course, as always, reminder in the comments, please remain spoiler-free past this episode.
Thank you.
For these guys.
Appreciate it.
The newbies watching for the very first time.
First time through, don't mess it up for me, please. Thank you.
It won't happen because I screen the comments. So
Fair.
don't waste your time. Unless you have something very nice to say, in which case we love you.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
All right, so until the next episode, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.